Good morning. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Today I am going to get on the topic of interracial dating, but not in the same way that you're used to hearing it. In fact, this video is going to be titled African Americans. Interracial dating does not solve our problems that we have with each other. Again, interracial dating does not solve our problems that we have with each other. Now, what do I mean? Well, when I look at the scope of what's going on with YouTube and the term swirling, which swirling is a euphemism for interracial dating. Let's just call it what it is. Because in the real world, and that's where I'm a foot soldier, I never even heard of the word swirling. I just call it what it is. It's interracial dating. That being said, there are a few channels that promote it. Now, it's nothing wrong with dating who you want to date and having your options open. But what I see in the African American community is another way to divide us. And what we do when we talk about interracial dating, we start uplifting the race who put us in chains. Now, this is not all white people, so please follow me when I deliver this message. You have good white people out there. But when we uplift the race that has helped cause us unpleasing results with each other, with their policies, with their marketing of utilizing us to make money off of us, and we have taken the bait, that's where I have to look at the subject matter and articulate it in a way that each and every one of us in the African American community can understand this issue. It is nothing wrong with dating interracially. I've done it myself. But when we put our own race down, thinking that another race is better because we're getting so-called better results, think again, because you're not. Because when I have dated Caucasian women, and they tell me they only like black men, red flags go up. Why? Because I know why they like black men. Now, I'm using for the most part. Because when I give you the answer, it shouldn't be surprising if you have your eyes and ears open. First and foremost, when it comes to picking a partner, you pick a partner based on your value system. Because just because I go to the other side doesn't mean it's going to get any better there. So let me break it down, first of all, with some of these African American women thinking that the white man is great. Again, this is not a slap in the face to all white men, because I have a number of associates who are Caucasian, and we talk about these issues every day, and they're my coworkers. Well, I look at the black-on-black crime in this country. Certainly, it is high, no doubt. Let's look at the city of Chicago. The city of Chicago has a population of around 2.7 million people, which is the third largest city in the country. Now, last year, by gun violence now, they had 734 killed. Now you look at that number and you say, well, Out of 2.7 million, that's not a lot. But now if you look at the second number, which was 4,341, right around that number, I'm giving you an estimate. So, wow, that's a lot of shootings. In fact, the amount of shootings they had in Chicago was basically the population of a borough of Slatington, Pennsylvania, that I lived in before I moved out here to Portage, Indiana in 2015. So if I took that number and put it with Slatington, that means everybody in Slatington would have been shot. But that's not the issue. I'm just giving you some empirical data. But let me continue so you will get the message. Because I don't think a number of us understand. But let's take that number of people shot and killed in Chicago of 734. Now, I'm basing it off of the 2016 numbers. I don't see anything yet for 2017. The first quarter is almost over. But I'm going to use 734 from last year. Okay. You talk about that number being shot. Black on black crime. And you can even add, as a backup, to inflate the number a little bit, you can go to all the other cities. Now, I bet you, now I'm talking about gun violence now. You even add all the big cities up, you don't get 10,000. But you take military operations, and who runs the military? White folk run the military. Let's go back to two cities that were bombed during World War II, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Do you know in those two cities alone, when we talk about murder, with just two A-bombs, atomic bombs, 100,000 people were killed that day. And that's much more than you see with the black on black crime. So is the white man so great now? No. Let's take the mass shootings, particularly at the school and at churches. These were all done by white people. Who are your murderers, your mass murderers, your serial killers? Most of them are white men. So when you think that the white man doesn't have any problems, you're delusional. But some African American women believe that that white man is going to serve them much better than we're going to serve him. Going to the black man. There's nothing wrong with you dating Caucasian women either, or anybody outside your race. But I see a number of you putting Caucasian women on a pedestal as well. Let me ask you, brothers, something. Let's go back to Emmett Till. Why was he murdered? He was murdered based off of, at that time, whistling at a white woman. Not raping a white woman. He was whistling at a white woman. He lost his life. And then her name was Carolyn, and I forgot her last name. She came out last year and said that never happened. You look at Rosewood, prominent African-American community, that was destroyed because a couple white women thought they were raped, or they alleged themselves as being raped by black men. So they went and destroyed the whole town. You look at a number of white women out there who have blamed black men for raping them. And guess where we end up? In jail or dead. Now, again, this is not a slap in the face to all white women because there are good white women. But I'm just sitting down the foundation for why African Americans need to stop putting white folk above them. You see, when I date a woman, if I'm going to put any woman at the top, it's going to be a black woman. Why? Because I'm black. They understand me because we come from the same culture. Now, however, just because I'm black and she's black, it doesn't mean we come from the same environment. But continuing, when I gave you those examples, it should help African Americans look to the fact that maybe it's not so good over there. White folk have problems too, and the bottom line is we've tried to emulate what they are, and we can't do it. Let me bring up another case. The tennis star Serena Williams, great tennis player. When she got engaged, some of the black men were upset about it. I wasn't upset. I could care less. And some of these sisters who had black men, well, they made their poor choices by selecting the dirty or the dusty black men. So they use that as a catalyst to put all black men in one arena. Same with the black men. They met some dusty black women who had bad attitudes, and they utilized that so they could date interracially. Now, I'm going to flip the script here and look at white women, as I hear from them. Why do you like black men? Now, I never get a straight answer. But when I actually find one out of the bunch, they would tell you that, oh, black men treat us better. And it's usually one of the dysfunctional white women. And I hate to say this, white women, some of the black men that you're meeting are dysfunctional themselves. They come from the dysfunctional single-parent households. So you're not getting anything there. And when I see the black man date the white woman, guess what type of white woman he's getting? He's getting the same type of white woman with the characteristics that the black woman has. Kids out of wedlock, mouthy. So what did he really gain? He gained nothing. In fact, it's the ones who don't have the economics. And you have to realize in America, when it comes to dating any women, women are basically commodities in the American community because of marketing. We're always told that we have to have a certain amount of money to get a certain type of woman. So basically, I don't care if you are African American or Caucasian, you're not going to get the top flight woman without having the money. But where I'm going with this interracial dating, that's what it is. You just heard the last word I mentioned. It's dating. Because the result is low marriage rate. That's where I was going to the issue, if you were paying attention. You see, only 15% of black men and white women marry. So that means the other 85%, what happens? They marry within their own race. And same with white women, white people. Most of them marry inside their own race. In fact, there was a study out, and I was listening to a video by Soul and Black. It was a study that showed that 87% of white women dream about having sex with a black man. But only 13% of white women marry black men. And the number of black women, white men, is even smaller. So most of us are marrying in our race. But we are making a big deal over dating. Okay, it is dating. Dating does not necessarily result in marriage. And I want everybody to understand that. That's why I laugh when I hear African American men and women uplift the race who had put us in chains, beat us, slaved us, sold our children to make money off of us. And you look at what they're doing now. They put us in these privatized jails to make money off of us. That's what we are to some of these Caucasian men and women. We are a sex tool and money. And I'm talking about the white folk who don't have any remorse, and they're all about themselves. Now, it's nothing wrong with who you date, but we need to stop championing that nonsense and call it for what it really is. It's temporary. That's what dating is. Because for the most part, the relationships aren't going to last, particularly in these days, because a relationship is based on convenience instead of what it should be based on. It should be based on love, trust, faith, a value system, but we don't have that. And the feminist movement, that was spearheaded by white women. Now also, let me break it down a little bit. Interracial dating is not just black and white. It's also Hispanic. Now, you don't hear too much with the Hispanics and blacks because they basically have the same type of culture. They do. We don't talk about that one. But see, what happens with African Americans when they interracial date, the big point that I have is we put down our own race when we interracially date. And all we're doing is just going away from the problems that we really have and understanding that no matter if you're black and you go into even an affluent neighborhood or you are with white folk or even other nationalities, that your skin color is still black and you're still going to be judged. That's why I did that video. It doesn't matter who you are or where you go in life as an African American, you're still black. And that's a fact. And that can't be disputed. You are black. So what I want African Americans to do, it's okay if you date outside your race, but stop putting your own people down and start understanding the problems that we have as a divided race and talking about uplifting one another. We can talk about everything else within the black community, from entertainment, drama, music, sports, but we don't talk about black love. It's still out there. But what I see with this interracial dating, that's all it is dating. It's not resulting in marriage. So, that being said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what's happening on YouTube. You got channels promoting, oh, well, go be with white men, go be with Asian men. Okay, that's fine. It's nothing wrong because you get to find out how other cultures are anyway. And then you can bring information back to your own community and utilize it, or you don't have to utilize it. There's nothing wrong with opening up your options, but stop putting your men and women below other races, men and women. That's what I'm talking about. Because in the long run, you're never going to be like them. You're black. And that's just the way it is. And you have to accept that. And black is beautiful. That's what I mean about being a conscious black. I know what goes on around me. But we allow a word like swirling and racial dating to get under our skin, where there are more important topics to talk about, like mental health in our community. the lack of infrastructure, lack of employment, education. Because you can go to another race if you want, but still, in the African American community, where a number of us come from, the problems don't go away. And you know what? You still have violence from white folk, Hispanic folk. There's bad in every race. Because I can tell you this, I hear the same things from Hispanic men when they talk about their women. And they try to come over there to white women. I hear it from white women how the white man is bad. I've even heard it from white men on how white women are bad. So when it comes all across the board, men and women are talking to each other about interracial dating, about other races being better, but the result, a small number of us are marrying interracially and having biracial children. That's the number you need to look at. You can date as many people as you want, but it's when you get married. Now, I've seen some prominent African American men get married to white women, and guess what? You look at Tiger Woods, Tay Diggs, Seal. They didn't last. In fact, those women took them for a lot of money. If you look at the system, the no-fault divorce, it's white women who came up with that system. You thank them for that. And they get a lot of money from it. And that's why I tell African American women, we have never oppressed you as black men. We didn't have the power. But we're trying to be like some of these white women. Doesn't work. So I may not have covered everything, but I wanted to cover the basics when it comes to this interracial dating, because it really is no big deal. We get our feelings as African American people wrapped up in unimportant matters. My job when I present my material is to uplift what we have left of the black community. I mean, a number of us are benevolent people. And the role that a man should take in his community, men should be the leaders of all the infrastructure, and women should be the facilitators of all of the infrastructure. And, you know, that woman, the strong woman is not the one who has the attitude. That's just a nasty disposition. And I'm going to do a video on attitude not being strong. It's just a sign of disrespect. That video is coming. But I want black men and black women to understand that we need each other, because we are all we have. Because most of us don't understand how the system works here. The system uses us. And as a black woman, you look at Sarah Bartman. They tried to get her into prostitution. Why? Because of her body. And that's what some of these white folks see you as, your body. Easy access. You look what happened during slavery. And for black men, you're seen by some of these white women as what? A roll in the hay. Sex. A toy. Something to do. But we have put them above us. And let me tell you, from my perspective, not putting any white person above me. Because if it weren't for our inventions, we would have the elevator, the telephone, blood banks, the ironing board. We wouldn't have rock and roll music. And you just remember your history. It is our innovation that has kept this society going. Not their innovation. They stole everything. They even stole our identity. That's right. They even stole our identity and indoctrinated us into their language. And you look what we got now. A system that the target keeps moving. Rules and regulations that don't benefit us. So again, we can go out and interracially date. That's great. But in the long run, you're still black. And you're still part of the community where we all need to solve the problems. You don't have to live in the hood. You can live in an affluent area when you're black. But you're still African American. And wherever you live, you still have the same problems. Because we have all been indoctrinated by this white supremacist system. And what I mean by white supremacy, again, it's not all white people. White people, they've been bamboozled by the class of their own. See, white people don't like their own. You think they like us? And I'm talking about the elites. This is why the health care bill didn't pass yesterday. Because the elites aren't going to benefit from it to line their pockets. And with the African Americans, we've been bamboozled by it to work as corporate slaves from the elites. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it's great to be diverse in dating, but do not settle for being beneath another race. And don't build that other race up. Build your own race up. And this is for black men and black women. Because grass is not greener on the other side. If you think it is, you're delusional. Because interracial dating, and I'm talking about dating, has its own set of problems. People have to think about that. So that's why I didn't care about Serena Williams and what she did. And the other black woman like Maya Angelou, she was married to 2 white men. Stacey Dash was married to 3 white men. Robin Thicke cheated on Paula Pounds. You see where I'm going? The system. White men have been the biggest cheaters. Look at all the children they had out of wedlock. Nobody talks about that. Thomas Jefferson, Strom Thurmond, he wouldn't admit that he had a black child. So when it comes to interracial dating, it's no big deal. Because marriages are resulting at a low rate. So African Americans, build up your race. Never settle for second place. Be the best, no matter what the media tells you. We're loving people, and we will always be loving people. But we got to stop being loving to others and be loving to each other. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for today, Saturday, March 25th, 2017. You can tune into the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Monday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. And if you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I do not engage in any drama, bickering, any controversy, nor do I do any emotional type issues. Everything is based on logic. This channel is based on teaching. I'm giving you the tools. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, that's up to you. But I want you to learn something, because the real world is very challenging. So no matter where you come from, you listen to my videos, you will learn something, because I'm about giving you the direct and realistic truth from a positive perspective. That's right. Uplifting is positiveness. And that's what my channel is about. That's why you don't hear me use the word bashing or denigration, because I'm not going to do that to my own race. You know why? Because when I look at the mirror, I am part of the African American community. Now, just because I'm black, it doesn't mean that everybody's my brother and sister who looks like me. However, it's my job to help my people. And that's what I'm going to do. You come here to this channel, you're going to get positivity. And if you have a business or a topic that you would like for me to discuss, or even a YouTube channel, and I put it out there on the air on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, all you have to do is email me at lej6521@gmail.com. Again, that's lej6521@gmail.com. I like comments. So if you leave a comment, make sure you stick to the topic. In other words, leave your comment in the comment section under the video, but make sure that your comments are pithy, no bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering, if you wish to opine. That's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed day.